welcome dear all to twitch.tv/Wensleydale Cheddar. I'm Hovin. Hi.
How did that go cockney? How did your impression of Wensleydale end up going cockney? Welcome. It's me, the Artful Dodger.
I did it on our Death Note cast, and Wensleydale seemed quite flattered by it. So, Wensleydale cannot make it this week. So we will be holding down the fort without him.
No, he's too busy picking pockets in Victorian London.
Shall I send you the London town to accompany your quest?
Okay, Grail's become Speedwagon.
I have? That's funny.
Yeah,
I never
fair
saw
enough.
the dub, but I still managed to copy it.
Okay. I don't know which of us is hosting. I guess since I started, I'll volunteer to...
No one's hosting Anarchy!
Anarchy!
Randomize the list!
I already did, so I'm hosting. Suck it. So,
Okay.
before we get started, I just want to ask, how is your Christmas / any other holiday you celebrate, guys?
It was pretty good. I read one really good manga and have been catching up with another really bad one. The good one is called My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness.
Sure, manga.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like either one of those cheap authors who does some porn or just plain porn.
Oh no, it's very, it displays sexual content in a very, way. Anyway, I should probably go into what it's about.
I've just found the art style, which looks hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It tackles quite sort of kind of dour subject matter with a very sketchy, cute art style to kind of soften it, which is an interesting approach. It's all about transitioning from school into work life and kind of self-worth within that, in both sexually and just in her general life. Yeah. And it's a very interesting personal story, which I was surprised in how much I related to it in some places. And so yeah, I give that one quite a strong recommendation. Even though it can get quite maybe not for the faint of heart. And as well as this, I've also been catching up on Black Clover, which has been a series of downs.
It's been a series. It's definitely been that.
It's quite amazing to me how Black Clover can consistently disappoint me, because it always sets up situations where I'm kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I'm on board. This isn't amazing, but it's a decent setup. And then just goes with the most boring out from the situation, and it always just makes me roll my eyes. I go, yeah, of course. Why
occasionally within the same chapter.
Yeah,
it's like Fairy Tail, but without the boobs.
Because at the moment, I'm just kind of at the very start of the tournament. So I just got through the arc where they were healing Asta's arms, and they were having that fight.
That's amazing arc.
Yeah,
can you fix up my arms? No. Oh look, we're getting attacked. I guess I'll fix your arms now.
And
who are you? I don't know. I haven't read the fucking light novel.
Yeah. So apart from all that, it's just there was this part where they were fighting a bunch of wizards, and it was just pull out big attack on, and there's two ongoing fights, and they kind of do the move of okay, we'll use Asta to deflect one villain's big attack into another, and that's kind of neat. That's having the two fights interact with each other. It's very simple, but I'm down with that. And then they just resolve it all by having Asta get a boring Ninetales ripoff power up, and it's like, oh
yeah, that
you had something good. You had something good going there, and you fucked it.
It's not even a good Ninetales
next
power.
arc, they fuck it even harder by making Asta immediately able to just take it on at will and with no loss of control. I mean, maybe I've too much power surging, but he retains his sound mind.
Yeah, it constantly hints at, ooh, maybe he might have to struggle with it, and it might take control of his
Never
life.
shows it.
No, it doesn't. Instantly, he's just fine with it.
That's kind of the manga in a nutshell. He just learns it. It's kind of the motto.
Like, what's the point of taking these story elements if you're not going to do a story with them?
To show these cool new designs!
There aren't new designs!
Yeah, having black bits on the side of his face and arm, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's not. But, can we save bashing Black Clover until we're at that point in the recap?
Actually at Black Clover.
Sure. It'll probably take me about one more week to get caught up, but I look forward to hearing you guys rail on it again.
We should do a special stream where we just bash the shit out of this series. Nothing constructive, we just hate on it.
The thing is, I can't do that anymore. I don't care enough about the series to hate on it. It's just squiggles on a page now. I have no emotional attachment because it's just so boring.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, that is pretty much Robot X Laserbeam. Like, it's not like awful. It's just it couldn't in any way invest me in golf with what it had.
Golf's a hard sell. I don't get into sports series. I have a hard time. Golf was not going to be the sport to get me into it.
Yeah,
the only thing that got me mildly interested.
To be very good and very engaging.
They would have to be playing superpowers in space.
Or they would just have to do the cyborg idea I gave a few episodes back. Seriously, start giving that guy some laser eyes, and we're in business.
I only got interested in that series when I heard it did a 3-year time skip, 20 chapters in.
You're putting this idea in my head of this kind of neat, like, futuristic, space-themed golf series. I'm like, that could be cool. That could be weird.
Gravity golf, planet to planet.
Alright, but at this point I should say we do have a series to go through. We've just been here railing on the manga that we hate. And we got plenty of that ahead of us. Well, not plenty, like, 2 out of 8, so some of that ahead of us. So, after running the list of the manga we do through Randomizer, our first one is Dr. Stone, 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 Dr. Stone.
So I've had it pointed out to me how questionable art in this chapter in a couple of instances.
Back in a second.
Oh.
Alright, we can just... So, we are at chapter 40, The Fruit of 2 Million Years.
Yeah, this was a pretty decent wrap-up chapter. It's nice that Chrome still has a shot.
Yeah, though I do question, how do these people know what a divorce is?
I guess marriage just works the same way in this primitive culture that it does.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, because I do know that these guys are descendants of people who knew what a divorce is, so...
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that was passed on.
Their knowledge is kind of a dark spot for us still. We don't know what they do and don't know.
I did, until it got resolved at the end of the chapter, I did think it was a bit odd that, what's the name of Magician Man?
Gen?
Gen, yeah. I did think it was a bit odd that Gen was being so naggy about the cola. I'm like, dude, just he'll get to it when he gets to it. But, I guess it wrapped up at the end of the chapter,
he didn't nag anything. He just wished it was for the cola.
I don't know. No, speaking of carbonation, like, he's constantly, like, dropping all these hints and stuff.
Yeah. Have we talked about the absurd boob size?
Yeah, let's talk about the sexy stuff.
Can we save that to the end?
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to get my gushing over first, and then I can start telling you how wrong you are about everything just because you're talking bad about this series. I won't even listen what you say. I'll just start preparing my castrating iron.
No, this chapter is great. I love the comedy. I love the scene where Senku just goes, we just need a divorce, and just Ruri's face.
Yeah, and then he runs off doing a kidnap and with a ton of booze. He's basically become a Hollywood celebrity. It's
just her expression when she's been like sealing herself to be like, I guess I can go with him, and it's a mixture on her face of relief and the fuck. To say, wait, no, you don't get to. Wait, no, I'm beautiful. You don't get to do this.
Well, he does. He's the chief.
Well, Well, he's not.
I thought he is since he won the tournament. Or does he
had
have
to
be...
marry Rory to become the chief.
Yeah, but like, do you have to stay in the marriage?
I think there's going to be a very interesting conversation in the next few weeks of the village trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, and them like trying to figure out, because that'll make the two of them start talking and negotiating. Because they're like, okay, so technically you married Rory, so you're now chief, which we don't want. And you don't want, but we can't not do this because you won our sacred competition in front of the gods. So what do we do to find a way to make that we both agree to make this work and everyone keeps face?
I do think Senku kind of does want it because it allows him a lot of control.
I would agree theoretically. I don't see Senku's a good enough person to not just seize power.
No, he's not.
He would joke about it. I don't think he would. Also, can I point out that this carbonation thing, I don't know how the fuck this works.
I don't know enough science to know anything about how it would work, so I'm just gonna assume that you're right here.
I'm trying to get my science major doing friend into this series so that she can confirm stuff for me.
Apparently, there's carbon dioxide in that jar, and it's being pumped through that pipe into the water.
No.
That's spitting.
Oh, hang on. Oh, what the? Where did he get the carbon dioxide in the? Oh, that's the way it's going. How did he get carbon dioxide in the jar?
I don't know.
How did he get pressurized carbon dioxide in the pottery jar?
I don't know.
Because the only way he's getting stuff out of that is by burning stuff. So his cola should taste like soot and carbon monoxide. This should be deadly cola. I think Senku's just killed again.
He's poisoning again on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, the stuff he got from Gen is the
soot. It would taste like shit.
Well, he didn't say that on his ramen, and I was going to say that, yeah, he says that this carbonic acid isn't for the cola. Though,
yeah.
About the cola, I do think that the panel where Gen just gets to drink cola, that's just such a great panel, showing just how much this one bottle of cola means in a world like that.
It is nice. Also, I think you could make a pseudo cola tasting drink from those ingredients.
Yeah, like, when this art wants to convey emotion, it just works. And when it wants to convey other things...
When it wants to convey emotion to other parts of my body, it does the final page. Holy shit, I forget occasionally that this guy drew Sunken Rock. The series where the protagonist defeated the lieutenants of an arc, which were twin nurse BDSM girls, by fingering them to climax.
Maybe I should read this. It's on Crunchyroll. I could just give it a look-see.
It is.
Okay, just put on incognito mode before you do.
Not gonna lie, I got pretty far in it. It's a fun series. It just loses me in places. I think so. It's just it's fun to marathon for a bit, but then you want to put it down for ages, and I've in like my third iteration of that.
Yeah, no, 10-year run. Yeah, I could see that being one you might not get all the way through.
It's like,
but yeah,
what the fuck is with Rory's dress?
We're talking about, go to Hovin's Twitter. It's there with the picture. Text isn't right, but it might as well be.
Also, her physique on the first panel she's featured in the color panels is
Can we talk about Rory in this chapter? Because just that dress. For the first part, why is there a form-fitting dress in the Stone Age? What's that made out of?
I know why. Because it's shonen, and we need to sell this to horny boys.
I also love that they've cut a diamond out of the thigh. That's obviously that's obviously a bit tight because it's stretched the diamond with her humongous ass. But then they've tied it back at the bottom. So that's sort of levels of design that is not appropriate for the Stone Age. Also,
I have a bit of a yeah. Go ahead.
Also, the fact that I'm pretty sure they have at least invented boob tape for this thing to stay up.
Different series and tangentially related, but I have the same problem with the way that on certain female chefs, the chef outfits have like they contort, they like have boob lines in Food Wars.
Oh yeah, but like, the buttons are still perfectly placed, as if like these things are sculpted.
Like that like if you want to make them look like big, you can just like have it go around. Yeah, that's not how those clothes work.
No, this is not how any of these clothes work. And Ruri as a character in this chapter is just like, you're really cool, but why is this art so written for teenage boys?
Because it is.
Did they think that if they talked science too much, they'd turn off, and so they had to put boobs on the last page? Because could we all agree that you can photocopy out that leaf for something far more obscene, and this picture would make about as much sense?
One, yes. Two, your theory about them adding the boob because the science talk would bore the kids actually sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
So, if we could stop talking about that before this.
No, never.
Enough boobs.
Claimed
I can't
for
believe
reasons, and I may have police breaking my door down.
Hovin says enough boobs.
Say that this chapter, aside that one part, was a really good transitory chapter, and next time we'll probably get to something really good. And
also,
yeah.
Also, the way they make the sulfonamide is pretty accurate.
Yeah, so...
Apart from half these would have burned through the containers they were using, but apart from that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna castrate one of each of your testicles for talking bad about Dr. Stone, and then castrate my own, because I too joined in on that.
Owie.
Oh dear, cult fanatics. What a sensible discussion.
Yeah, I'm not sensible about this series anymore. I am a fanatic, and I have been thinking about starting a cult.
Cult of the Stone.
Yes. Now, from one series with that sort of talk to another with Shokugeki no Soma, chapter 244.
You mean Rendo's back? This series is good again.
No, it means what the fuck are these are the two girls being cheerleaders on the front page for?
I do not remember this. Hold on.
I just flicked to it. It might not be in the official version, but it might have been in an artwork.
It's not in the official version. Oh god damn it! I want to see the girls being cheerleaders.
I will send it to you.
Thank you.
But this was a weird. I am not gonna lie. I am glad they got out of that goddamn cage because it was annoying me to no end the way parts of it kept disappearing. Why did you draw a cage if you were going to do that?
Okay, it's Akumi and thingy, right?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, that is weird that it's only in the scans but didn't come through in the main thing. It's okay. Anyway, yeah, this chapter was fine. They bloody well have Erina be of value here because she should be the spearhead of this arc. You know, she should be the thing beating them.
Well, I would say that this bout is probably the... Well, I understand it, but... Well, let me put it this way. Like, her winning this one is pretty much set. And it is very exciting to see Erina cook for the... Is it first time in the whole series?
It's the first time we've seen her properly do a Shokugeki. Like did we see what she did on the training weeks?
Yes, we saw the first time we saw her cook was when she just schooled Soma when
that whole breakfast serving thing.
Yeah.
See, I do miss that. Like when she was like this sort of Ice Queen rival. That was cool.
Yeah, but it's still good to see her develop that much from that.
Maybe. I feel a lot of Erina's characters developed around her, and it's not been bad. But I'm trying to remember like what she's done herself and what's happened to her.
So hopefully this will get her some more time to shine.
Yeah, I'd quite like to get for her to have some agency finally, because everyone just been like, yeah.
Like I still would have wished her first match would have been against like Rindo or Tsukasa, so we have some real tension about it, because we already know Erina's gonna win this one since. What was that girl's
it's
name? I can't even remember.
Momo.
Momo already like had a match. So...
She had a win. She's not a particularly major council member. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty glad she's fighting her, because I would be so annoyed if Erina's first appearance she lost.
Yeah.
At least this way, I know
we get a win from her.
Yeah, but
also I will. Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, she could fight them and still win. We just have some tension as to whether or not she does. Here, she's pretty much facing a jobber.
I'd expect tension in a fight against Rindo. If she beats Tsukasa, I'd be pissed.
Well,
because
we've seen her have to, and it's gonna be her or Soma.
This does mean that that Megami got wharfed for the girl who's about to get wharfed.
Yeah, that's true. No.
We're getting to Zaraki levels. No, we're getting to the people Zaraki killed before Yuhabot killed him levels of like, how do we build up characters?
I mean, we are just at the final bunch, so I guess that figures.
Also, I completely agree with you on these outfits.
Yeah, I do wish to retroactively go to the last fight. If the result had been Aldini lost, but what's her face? But
Megami.
But Megamin won. That would have been a much better outcome.
Yeah. Why the fuck is Aldini here?
Oh yeah. About it, but Rindo back to life was super cool. It's really fun.
Also, one comedic thing I didn't even notice before is that the Resistance actually just broke their cage, like busted down one wall. And in later page, they're fixing it with scotch tape, or is it duct tape? Which one do you call that? I don't know the English
name.
Duct
tape.
Yeah, duct tape.
I do love the idea of, hey prisoners, fix the jail we're about to lock you in. Yeah, sure, we'll do really good work on that.
Yeah, like they're doing it shittily on purpose so they can just get out. So with putting duct tape, they've already doomed themselves. That stuff is solid.
I guess for another meanwhile on the anime segment, they have started the Azami stuff now, but it's taking a break just before the train arc, so too salty at it yet that they're holding off on it.
Like, I'm not going to talk about Rindo because I will get yelled at. But I did enjoy Momo in this chapter. Like, you can tell the fight with Megami has been bugging her.
Yeah.
It's
also,
like everything.
In any manga, I would think selfies would be like, oh god, why the fuck? But she just makes it work.
I enjoy the thing that you can tell she's the way doing the selfie shows that she's still slightly out of her element. It's like this is things I enjoy, but hang on, something's off, and I'm going to look forward to how the lasting effects of fighting Megami affect this battle.
Well, anyway, I'd say it was a pretty good chapter. Though one thing no one mentioned yet was on a 2-page spread, the show of like Momo, Rindo, and Tsukasa, as that looks like a D&D party, or like some MMORPG party.
Yeah, and it looks like Momo was designed by me. Not Momo, what did I say? Rindo. Momo does not look like she was designed by me.
Yeah, but, we got our cleric or wizard, and then
I think I played Rindo in Fire Emblem. Because she looks exactly like Rinka from the Fates.
I've only played a bit of Awakening still.
Yeah, except pretty sure she's cooler than Rinka.
No, I liked Rinka. She was cool.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was.
No, she wasn't.
She was far better than most of the characters in that game. I was a bit disappointed coming from Awakening.
Yeah, I mean, I was too, but I knew a lot of better characters.
I liked Sumia and
I know which character Hovin likes.
Olivia, they were both cute. Who did you think I was going to say?
Camilla.
Camilla. Oh, I don't think I met her.
She's not in
I'll send you a
Awakening.
picture. No, I'll send you a picture. You will understand immediately.
Oh, she's on Fates. Okay, I haven't played that.
Yes.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I've seen her around.
The one that walks around in armor and a thong, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I know so many people who are like fans of the old Fire Emblem who are like, God, it's turned into the gacha waifu bait series, and I hate that.
Shut up, that's the only reason I play it.
One, I still enjoy the gacha game to some degree, even if I never spend money. And two, yes, it kind of has. Fire Emblem 7 was so good.
Oh, not the gacha games, but the Fates. Yeah, I literally just, okay, I'm going to get everyone to A rank, see their S rank, restart the game, and see who I marry at the end.
I think I have just gotten to the point where I have just accepted that I will never get into a mobile game for more than a week. Because, like, if Digimon couldn't get me into it, nothing can.
Well, to be fair, they didn't have Braveheart or Butterfly, so of course they wouldn't.
Or the Digirap.
I will go and burn down the designers of that game.
Digimon making a scene, they're kicking it up to the.
Alright, let me go grab my gasoline!
Fuck that, but the Digimon Digital Monsters tune is one of the sounds of my childhood. I love those.
Have we run out of things to talk about with Food Wars now that we're on to gacha games?
Pretty much.
I was out of gasoline.
What's up next, Greil?
Alright, next up is One Piece, chapter 889.
Yes! The one where we start to see how emperors are reminded how you don't fuck with emperors.
She just doesn't let up. I love that her hair is a homie as well.
That was a nice touch.
Her fangs.
I think the scene. Are you talking about when it's on fire?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty
That's
sure that's
Prometheus.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say that.
Oh, wait,
too.
no, isn't he flying back?
No, she's riding on Zeus, and Prometheus becomes her hair.
They just arrive. No, she's like, they just arrive, and then, oh, that is really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to just show her hair being Prometheus.
Because it's an interesting thing for the villain. Because at this point, I'm like, I can compare Big Mom to White, but it's like, yes, these are people who it is impossible to kill. Because and also how it's in the rest of the arc, she's unintentionally been giving herself a limiter. Because it looks like when she's just normal Big Mom and eating everything, she's not taking it seriously, not particularly fighting seriously, not really caring about anything. And now she's got the hunger pan. She's just like, this is how I took over. This is how I became one of the four most powerful things on this planet.
Well, I mean, she killed a giant leader when she was like 4 or 5. I think this is small stuff.
Also, as Wensleydale has pointed out to me, I think we now know what Oda meant when he said, "Aren't little sisters great?" as Chopper calls Carrot his honorary little sister.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was set up earlier when they were in the mirror world, and he told her to call him Big Bro Chopper.
Yes. The thing is, I'm more interested because I would have instantly thought that Carrot would have been the pairing for Chopper.
But no, I guess he's just the only thing he's into is reindeer minks.
No, yeah. I think there was...
No, they're all into adventure. Oda answered this. All the Straw Hats are in love with adventure.
Well, Chopper did have a blush at one mink, though I can't remember what type it was.
Also, apparently being around Usopp has a magic effect on people that makes them act perverted, which is another thing Oda said. I don't get, like, I love some of Oda's stuff when he occasionally writes plot holes.
Well, it's more like they just follow the leader. Like, yeah, Luffy's not interested, Chopper's not interested, but they just like get peer pressured into it.
Because I just love this chapter. It's just like,
yeah,
okay,
it is pretty great, and we once again see Carrot be kick-ass and learn that the Sulong thing has limits.
Yeah, she'd basically tear herself apart if she used it too much.
I did like this, like, what power should we give these things? Super Saiyan. Are you sure you don't want to make it a bit? No, Great Ozaru. Are you sure you don't want to make it a bit more succinct? Nope. They see the moon, they grow in size, and they occasionally they will lose control of their brains unless they train. Are you sure that's not a bit similar to? Nope. I'm writing Saiyans into this series. No one can stop me. My name is Oda.
Hey, if you're gonna do Saiyans, then at least make them furry people.
Well, he did. And it's still pretty cool, even though I was the first to make the Super Saiyan.
I was saying, I think he's gotten the entire. I think with Carrot, he's had a whole generation of Jump readers have their furry awakening. Because if you look at the cover of this week's Jump, it's all of the Jump protagonists, like cat ears and fangs and snouts. It's like, oh dear, what have you done, Oda?
Is it the year of the dog or something?
Maybe I think that's probably why it is, but.
I just quite look. I like the look of Carrot Sulong form because it's not rabbity, but it's sort of. It goes very
otherworldly look to it. It's not like anything he's drawn before.
Yeah, and it looks very feral. That's also a big part of it.
That's a nice touch. Also, she apparently has been talking to Robin and done the thing of, oh no, I need to hide myself. I'll lower my hat slowly over my eyes.
Also, the great conversation between Sanji and Beige on whether or not to poison/explosive the cake.
That was great. Yeah. Just like an argument that would happen, and how Sanji ends up just like, try this. It's like, why did you poison our pass? It's like, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, you never thought Beige would make that face aside to his kid or wife. Because to those, you totally believe he'd do that.
Yeah. It's just
and
quite
Sanji's
good.
motivation is the same as always. He's just that great a chef.
I do love it plays really well into it. There is a woman out there who is hungry and wants to eat. There is no way Sanji is not going to feed her.
Alright. So, with this?
It's only 16 pages.
Yeah, the One Piece chapters always do tend to go by quite quickly.
Well, 17th is a double-page spread.
Ah, true. But it's one of those things where occasionally, when Oda starts getting arc fatigue...
My bad.
Yeah, there was like... I remember there was one in the middle of Dressrosa where literally all that happened was it was just transitioning between Bartolomeo and Cavendish's fight, and it was only 14 pages, and it's like, oh, this is a bit of a nothing week.
And famously in the War of the Best, the Rescue Ace arc, there were like strings of chapters that are only 10 pages long. I think one of the things that happens when Oda gets arc fatigue is that he will either die or they cut chapters down.
Oh, Marineford was literally done with his blood, sweat, and tears. That's why he had to take, like, his editors forced him to take that holiday break during the time skip to Hawaii. It's like, dude, take a rest.
Dude, stay alive. We want to see the end of this series. We're only halfway there. But no, I do like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
also
a great
wondering
chapter.
if this is, I'm also hoping I'm wondering if this is Big Mom's final form, or if this is like a transition between two of them.
Alright, so shall we move on to whatever's next?
Alright, so, next up, We Never Learn, chapter 44, aka More Boobs.
Boobs.
They made me laugh at a cup-sized joke multiple times.
This was such a good chapter. Yeah. We have one joke, and we're going to run with it for so long.
They just keep confusing breast sizes with grades. And for those who are from a country where they grade by numbers, like I am, grades go from around E to A, and A being the best grade.
And E being nearly a fail, which is an F. And yes, technically they go to G, which is when I like later when she tells him she's what, I cups or something, and it's like they invented a new grade for you to have. You did that badly.
I don't think they ever talked about.
No, she has G's. I don't know. They don't. I'm guessing they don't have G's in Japan. It was a G cup.
Okay, because it is a very funny chapter because they just start the bit when they start off with the girls, the other three, who just happen to be having a conversation about cup size. Honestly, as girls tend to do in harem series, but hey. And then then the oblivious what's her name? Thumbelina Princess.
Urahashi? Or was it Urahashi?
No, the big boob girl.
Oh, Ogata.
Ogata. And then Ogata walks in and
I can't remember
just
that.
walks into the wrong conversation and and Fumino nearly kills her. I love it.
I got E's.
Yeah, just like sit down, don't kill them.
Yeah, but he's like, I'm so envious you got A's. I had no idea. We're worlds apart.
Just try. Oh. And of course, that puts in her head the idea that because shit stirring girl, who is honestly the best addition to this series in the entire world, starts talking about how all boys love boobs.
Really, she hasn't met most anime fans.
Yeah, unfortunately so. And then it just gets to the point. I do like the thing of the boy and the girl sitting next to each other, and she's trying to figure out. She's just trying to figure out her feelings for him. It doesn't quite know how boys think yet, and they have the conversation and start mishearing each other because Yuega's trying to figure out what grade she got and is trying to be like, okay, do I be considerate? How do I figure this? I'm her tutor. I need to be encouraging, even if she did so badly. And then she's talking about, and she thinks the entire thing he wants to touch her boobs. It's just great.
Yes. Yeah, I eagerly look forward to whatever silly jokes this chapter has for me next week, or some actual drama. That's fine too.
And of course, Ogata's father is right behind
That's
him.
great.
No, I wish they would have done a little more with that.
I don't know. It is a joke they've been doing so much though with his dad. So just having him pop up is enough.
And that scene was just the inhuman look on his face, and just bass sound effects. Then they apparently got kicked out and went to a park.
Pretty sure they just escaped the wrath of a father.
And then she's just sitting on the swing, obviously having cleared up the confusion, and just like I wish the ground would open up and swallow me.
Yeah, and of course that talk awakened the pervert in Yuiga.
Well, it just put the idea in his mind, and that's my favorite part.
He's a teenager, so
yeah, he hadn't considered it before, and he wasn't thinking about it, but now the idea is in his head. So
yeah, it's a chain reaction. It goes from the other girls to Ogata to him.
And I just, because of course they're on a swing, which I hadn't realised. It's like, she's gonna start innocently swinging backwards and forwards. Boinga, 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 boinga.
Apparently she doesn't wear a bra, or it doesn't do that all the way that way. I don't know, never wore one.
Unsurprisingly, Ogata is my second favourite of the girls, but you know.
Yeah, no, I quite like her as well. I like her more comedically. My favorite is like
my favorite's Takamoto. I do really like her. Just she has that face when she's reacting curious. It's always like, oh, and it's very kind of goofy, and I do like it.
There's also some very nice panels in this, mostly from of her looking.
You're cutting out a little. Did I lose everyone? Did my internet die?
Ones where she actually looks worried and nervous. And
okay, see, my internet died for a moment.
Okay. But no, I just the change in art is also very clever in this. I think.
Mm.
Also, she keeps getting chibier in the comedic scenes, and it just to the extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just skimming through this and enjoying this. Like, oh, this is a bit from a realistic series. This is a bit straight from a romance series. They're about to subvert hard on the next page.
Yeah.
Listen, Agata, Yugita, And then it's just they end up saying I'm sorry, I love this. Sorry. Should we move on before I keep fangasming over the entire thing?
Yeah, let's move on before someone can use this as evidence against me for anything. Next up, we have to do Boruto, guys.
Oh, do we have to?
Yes.
Love triangle no jutsu.
Fuck the love triangle no jutsu. Minigun no jutsu all the way.
Yeah, I don't care if that is stupid. Miniguns are awesome.
Minigun no jutsu held by the swordsman. I love how the super secret piece of ninja tech wasn't anything amazing or cursed or had magical powers. It was a minigun. It's like,
what else would you do? If you got a minigun, you're gonna use it.
You give them, yeah, but you don't give them a minigun in the super secret box. You give them the totem of the moon goddess or something that can shoot out 50,000 rounds a second, but it's a massive glowing orb of shining magical energy.
How do you know the moon goddess didn't prefer a good old-fashioned minigun? Well,
because she had
old-fashioned in this manga, because it's probably new tech.
Okay, so what do we want to talk about first? Do we want to talk about the train wreck of art this chapter is, or the love triangle that came out of nowhere?
The art is terrible, but it's normal terrible. It's just just a lot of boring fighting.
I think the specific things for me are the Buzz Lightyear armor on the scientist man.
That is great.
And also just that first color page where it's trying to have Sarada and Mirai look really like demure and cutesy, and it's just like, ugh.
I think she's just broken Sarada's back. With her on high heels, they're about to fall over. There's no way.
She wants to eliminate her rival.
Oh,
you want to go into love triangle? I'm just gonna go grab a snack and.
So this came out of nowhere.
Sure.
And it's pretty dumb. The really annoying thing about this is that just like, oh yeah, and she has a crush on Boruto for some reason, and weird way that Sumire was introduced to this series as like, this is a character who was introduced in the anime, so I guess we gotta have her in the manga as well.
I'm still more surprised at Sarada. Have we had any inclination that Sarada is interested in Boruto?
We have, at the end of the arc based around the movie, hey, if you're going to be Hokage, I have to be the guy who supports the Hokage, and she kind of blushes and it's like, oh god, I didn't realize how cool Boruto was. So yeah, that was set up fine.
No, that's a moment of them bonding and her seeing him as an admirable person for the first time. Because before that, he's a little shit.
You can read it either way.
Any consist. But that's one moment. I need more of that before just like, oh, you like him, do you? Does she?
The thing is, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't conveyed in the manga much, but I saw the movie it was based on first, and she like very deliberately blushes there. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess she kind of crushes on him now.
Okay,
Also, he's still a little shit.
He is still a little shit. Can I point out that Sarada has a line, just like, I think it's something like, just like, the girl asked him, is Boruto popular with the girls? Just like, I don't know, he seems to get along with anyone. That's utter bullshit. Everyone hates Boruto. He's superior. He's only started changing. He is not Naruto. Everyone hates this kid.
It's like, and yeah, and the thing is, like, basically what her backstory is, she was in Boruto's class, then she turned out to be the last remnant of the root of Ambu, of the Ambu Black Ops. And she basically does the Sasuke thing of, I'm going to be a terrorist to the Leaf Village, but then Boruto talk no jutsus her out of it.
Well, at least he learned something from his dad.
Yeah, and so yeah, I guess that's why she fancies him.
Cool. I also want to point out with the art how weird it is that this girl in this ninja world is just... We've talked about it before, but just the sailor outfit. The schoolgirl outfit in the middle of this ninja world when she's not even at school.
Yeah, why didn't she change?
Why is she wearing that? What? no reason in universe. One, that she should know why this outfit exists, and two, should be wearing it.
I do have one positive thing to say on this chapter, which is I do, which is I quite like that the way that they take out these robots is that, and then while they're out of energy, they just kind of dismantle them. There's no it doesn't kind of draw things out or go overblown with it. Like it's a different way of dealing with it. It's like, okay, these guys are just cannon fodder. We'll shove them to one side and progress to the real fight, which is going to be bloody silly, but
Also,
fair enough.
by the way, forgot to mention, apparently the science ninja guy was manipulated with genjutsu mind control thing.
That's why he was all evil and bad in the last arc.
The fuck!
Yeah.
I actually actively dislike this writer now, because he is just taking stuff written by better people and shitting on it.
Well, I mean, Boruto was always a little shit. I saw the movie where he actually said his dad was better off not having a dad at all than having one that's absentee.
And if that was good characterization for the little shit that needs to get his comeuppance, but he's not an admirable character. This writer is essentially writing Naruto fanfiction, but has changed the name of his protagonist.
That's kind of why I want the anime to just kind of ignore the movie and it's not going to do. Like, they've already announced they're going to do the arc with the movie in it soon, which is a shame because so far, in just the Boruto goes to school parts, he's been way more likable.
Good.
Maybe they'll actually make him likable for the movie. Like, they just...
Maybe. I can't see them making heavy rewrites.
But no, they could, because if they can make him likable, but make him have a wall with Naruto. You can have a likable character with a flaw.
Yeah, like, at least recontextualize his being a little shit. Like, show just why it hurts him so much.
Yeah, build it up to the fact that Naruto missing Hinawari's birthday party is a big event.
Yeah, like, let's put that as the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, he's like, okay, Dad's not home. Okay, he's still not. He's missing again. Well, he was birthday. Oh, fucking hell! Now you've done it, fucker!
And also, like a montage where Naruto is disappointed in.
Yeah, but it would be if you want to make Boruto sympathetic, it's really easy in that scene. You don't show how much it hurts him. You show how much it hurts Hinata and Himawari.
Yeah. Sorry, I dropped out for a second.
That's okay. I was just saying that if you want to make Boruto in that scene do the same things and be likable, you show a scene about how much it's hurting Himawari and Hinata, but they're not saying it. You have him speak up for his mother and sister against his dad being on a bit of a douche, and that's where you build that out of.
It is quite funny to me that Naruto and Harry Potter both had a very similar ending, and then the follow-up thing to both angle of they're terrible dads.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, there is an interesting idea you can do of Naruto having not really grown up with a normal father figure, doesn't know how to be a good father, is having trouble in being a good father. He's falling into holes. He doesn't know how to split work and his home life. That would be an interesting thing you could explore and have a flaw in Naruto. But instead, every parent in this is given a flaw and then is instantly forgiven by their kids, who should honestly still be annoyed at them and should be working with their parents to have a better relationship. No, it's just like, sorry, Dad, I guess I was wrong that you missed out on half my life. We can be friends now.
Are we done shitting on Boruto for the time being?
I think we're done, yeah.
Yeah, we're not even done with the shit yet, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Well, at least we still got a little time left, because next up is The Promised Neverland, Chapter 68.
The chapter that made me feel like crap on Christmas. Thanks, Promised Neverland.
You have been reading this series, right?
This was really depressing. But yeah, no, yeah, this was quite good. It was quite an effective way of showing how awful the situation was, and I like that Emma seems to genuinely be up against the wall with this one.
Yeah, I mean, she might be good, but there's so many people that she just has no way to save everyone.
Which is nice because like that has always been an interesting thing about how the series has had like, especially Emma's kind of naive like versus this harsh world, and having that harsh world get a one up on that is always a good way to mix things up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also building Theo up as a character for the down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, him just having to see his brother and is it the sister or just the friend? Either way.
I think
he kind of does. Yeah, he kind of does the bride from Kill Bill as well with the kid.
But yeah, either way, he had to watch them both die, and the killer just to basically mock him.
Like, yeah. I don't know. Is he mocking him, or is he genuinely telling him, like, direct your hate towards me? Like, I want, just because he wants to see what this kid can do.
I think it might be like he mocks him because he wants to see him do that.
I didn't read it as mocking personally, but it's possible it can be.
Okay, taunting might be better.
Baiting him on.
I have just read this. I like this. This might actually got me back into Promised Neverland. Yeah.
And the final little panels of Emma, like, she's just furious about the situation, but that just downing her head. She knows she can't really do anything about it. That's just how it is. Like,
can only do what's within her power.
That's great. Like, that's a really cool show a hero. Just like, this is the way the world works. This is what we have to do, and then have them say, no, I'm not going to, this is the way that it works now. I will make, in the future, it will be different.
Yeah, but at least they show that it's not going to be a simple task changing it.
Yeah. And also just the way the language works. The first thing she's got to do is convince the kids that live there that they can change it, because just a line of just like, how many died today? 4, same as always. Then just the acceptance that every time this goes off, 4 of their friends will die. She's got to change that in the kids before she can make any progress against anyone else.
And it shows that Baron Lewis is kind of a terrifying figure since he just kind of appears in front of Theo, who was running away from him.
I like Lewis. He's just kind of cool.
Yeah, he is. In that Victorian England attire. Though, I question the monkey on his shoulder.
To me, he looks like he's just come out of Bloodborne.
Yeah, but that had a Victorian style.
Do you know what's actually interesting? No, that's his older brother. I was going to say it's interesting to see a house with an adult male in it, but no, that's just his surprisingly tall older brother, isn't it?
Yeah.
Damn, I was like, that's fascinating. Just no, I want to know what happens to the men. That's what fascinates me about Promised Neverland's universe at the moment.
Yeah. Or at least, like, are there any adult men that aren't just put into being eaten?
Yeah.
I mean, we do know there are some because Crone, saw that one scientist guy, the one from whom she got the pen.
Yeah. Because actually, do you know what I will be annoyed if the smart males are taken off to be scientists and the smart women are made to take care of the children.
I can see that, but I'm not going to start judging anything before we see.
True. But yeah. No, I like this chapter. I will actually read Promised Neverland before time next time, because that was cool.
Alright, so, that was a short conversation on it, but I think we got it all. It was a good one.
Yeah.
So, let's move on. And you know what's next. Come on, take a guess.
Is it my time to take a break and have a drink while you guys discuss Black Clover?
No, it's time for My Hero Academia.
My Hero Kindergarten, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
I liked the callback to his to him shouting "Shata" Endeavor to the tournament, which has become a bit of a meme.
That was great.
Which has become a bit of a meme among the anime fandom.
I did love that Endeavor's just complete. I love that Endeavor's also slightly blind to how this test works. That makes a lot of sense.
But what? What do you mean you have to be charismatic?
Yeah, and again, the My Hero does this really well of counterpointing. Like they do good against bad, and they do old against new. So the kids are currently learning on a small scale how people have to like them. And Endeavor's literally sitting down next to All Might and saying, "I can't be the number one hero. I can't become a symbol."
Yeah, that was a pretty great show of like humility for Endeavor.
Surprisingly so. It's going to be it's
I was
interesting.
thinking this guy's always going to be a douche, but he might actually get some kind of development. Did not see that coming. I'm really looking forward to it because this dude has done some horrendous shit. Yeah, like he's great at his job. Like he has stopped more criminals than anyone else. But now he might actually have to think about what it means to be a hero. And morally, I'm debating whether he's actually a redeemable character, especially mostly considering what we've seen of his home life. But I would be interested to see Endeavor trying to become a better person and how that affects Todoroki. Also, it really parallels with what they are doing with the people in the special training. Like, he says, "You're strong, but that's all you are." That really reflects on Endeavor. Because he's also strong, he's good at his job, but that's all. He's got no heart. And that's the problem. I do love just the idea of, hey, take care of these kids, because it's such a stroke of genius. You've got to put the spark of heroes into these kids just as the pros did to you.
Yeah.
And and also the way Gang Orca is amazing. Yeah, it's great to see Gang Orca back. He's got such a great design.
My favorite...
Also... Yeah, you go on first.
My favorite was Todoroki's reaction to his kind of army general...
the drill sergeant speech.
As Fertiliser.
He's so adorable.
Yeah, it is great how he goes through one of them. Do you want to be a hero? Michael talks back. Extra guidance! Shoujo seems to be a smartass even though he's just a deadpan. Extra guidance! And one of them actually says, "Yes, sir," just to the wrong question. Guidance!
I quite like how it's being set up because Bakugo's got to deal with the superior kid who thinks he's better than everyone else, so he's got to deal with himself. Todoroki's got to deal with the masses just as Endeavor's trying to do. But I think my favourite joke in this is the brainless girl who gets Sue on her looks, tries to do a midnight, but doesn't know how to deal with how to deal with the women yet.
Yeah, they just... Also, we do learn that Cammy is the real one here. Like,
do we?
Yeah. They say right there, like, they tested narcotics in her body, and she doesn't even realize she took a part in the test because, yeah, she didn't.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I thought they confirmed it in the moment, but that's a good... Yeah, I remember that. It is... Some of my favourite parts of this chapter are the girls just being bitches behind her back.
Yeah, just going...
They're trying to steal our man.
It's just like, you were in kindergarten, and this is... You were showing adult behaviour that is spot on. You can become popular on sex appeal, but you will alienate a proportion of the population. How do you deal with them?
Also, I love Bakugo's reaction of, "So you're telling us to become nannies for these brats?" And there's just the text, despair, on him. Like, because his choice of how to deal with the situation is always brute force, and that's not gonna go here. He can't just start beating the kids up until they respect him.
The interesting point is that they're having to deal with kids, and the problem is that the way you get respect from this, you have to be in a position of authority, and heroes are in this universe are in a position of authority based on how they protect people. So I'm slightly concerned about for them to show their authority as heroes to the kids, they have to save them from something, and I'm a bit worried about what's going to happen.
I also like that he calls him the kid calls Bakugo Mr. Bomb. Like, Mr. Bomb is lame. Good. I'm gonna just say like, good boy, you're doing good.
And about how President Mike just gets bored and starts commentating.
Yeah, and Bakugo's way of dealing with kids is just to shout at full volume, "Stop crying, damn it!"
And then she's trying to be cool with the Kami's trying to be cool with the girls. It's like, just ignore that tramp. So, well, okay, wow. These girls are bitchy.
Yeah, they even pinch her in the ass, so.
I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how they manage this. Quite like Kami. Then again, of course I would like Kami, wouldn't I? I'd write Kami.
Yeah, Rangiku.
Yeah.
What's her face from Blue Exorcist?
The slight airhead. That is an airhead because she can be, and it gives the impression that there's probably something more underneath that.
No, I gotta say, like, the first time I read this chapter, I was not that big into it, but like second, third, I started getting more and more into it, and now I just love it.
It's a great chapter.
How this was gonna go, like, do they need to show them retaking the test? But now I'm quite glad they have.
And it's a good way to show the different sides of being a hero.
Yeah, which is a lot of what this series is about.
Yeah.
Also, the wind guy, whose name I've totally forgotten, seems to like try to make friends with Todoroki. That
was a great joke.
Yeah, but it's still good. Like, he shows that he's trying to get along, even though Todoroki thinks that maybe they should just kind of take distance.
I like it more that they're both sort of realize that they're cool with it. Sorry.
What's your favorite food? Soba noodles, cold. Hot noodles. Soba's where that. Though I'm actually on Team Udon. This just wasn't meant to be, was it?
I just like that they've both realised that they shouldn't hate each other now. Both aren't quite sure what to do about it now. They're forced to interact, and both go to completely opposite ideas. So that he's trying to make friends, even though they obviously don't have nothing in common. And so Todoroki's just like, can't we just pretend that each other's not here? Can't we make no progress with this and just continue with our lives? Or the British approach, as it's called.
All right. Oh, with all that done, is it time for my water break yet?
Do you want to?
If you want to go, just go. I mean, none of us are gonna be that excited about Black Clover chapter 138.
I only make that joke just because I can, because I've never caught up with it. So
it might be quick. I don't really have anything to say about this chapter.
It looks like they just say something that, yeah, Captain Mariona's really cool because of this. Yuno's cool, except he's not. Fuck Yuno. Just die, you fucker, die.
Yeah. Mariona's cool because she's Ursa. Yuno gets magic power. I would
at least grant Mariona she's a side character. She's not always in the spotlight doing the abuse of power scale.
I don't know. Every time she's turned up, it's starting to get annoying. Also, the fact that this is the third time they've introduced a villain and just like, no, we one-shot them. Just like, why the fuck do I care anymore?
I don't.
I don't care about. I actually do have something to say about this chapter. They do the thing that is normally my favorite. The thing I love about series. I absolutely love it when they will take a side moment and show side characters interacting with each other, doing jokes and having fun. Also allowing exposition. In any of the series, this would have been one of my favorite chapters just for how you get the peek behind the scenes. I don't care about any of these characters, and these are the characters that I found most interesting going through. Black Clover has lost me to the point where even if it gives me my dream chapter, I am still bored as hell and can't be bothered to read it.
Going back to what Greil said about Yuno, it's really struck me just how, like, little there is to him as a rival. Like, the only novel thing about him is that they kind of do meta things about him, but they're always quite weird. It's like, that isn't in character for me. I'm not that kind of character. I'm like, yeah, what kind of character are you?
And the moment you go meta, you take away from the character, because it's not even like the suspension of disbelief that you can think of him as a person. It's just like, he's a character. He just said so. And that honestly says a lot about Black Clover itself. None of these characters have depth.
Like, because it was just so weird going from that to that sort of meta humor. This chapter of My Hero Academia Vigilantes, where there's like a spinning villain, and they're like, "Oh God, it's a villain with a quirk to turn into that has turtles and fires out jets, and it can fly." And it's like, "Hold on, isn't that just like Oh, come on, that's a lawsuit just waiting to happen. Don't talk." It's really I'm like, that's good. That's good.
No, I'll mention that they have tiny potential here because they're now focusing on the black bulls that don't get so much focus as in.
Oh no, fuck that. Like, they will win next chapter.
Yeah, I was going to say they have tiny bit of chance here, but I was going to say that I still do not trust them to anyhow pull me in. So.
Because they are fighting the eye patch guy that was beaten before by Asta in about one shot.
Well, everything's beaten by Asta in one shot because he's got the all magic does nothing to me. Plus plus everyone uses magic, so you're all just fucked.
And like
let's see how Black Clover's doing on Crunchyroll. Yeah. Okay, it's doing worse than Food Wars. So,
good.
You know, it's the series that is on its third season. It can't beat that.
I'm just annoyed because I saw this character the first time and remembered, I quite liked her, was the crazy scientist girl, and just realizing that she's just gonna be ruined by next week.
Also, did you hear this? Something Crunchyroll did with Black Clover. Theatrical screening of the first few episodes of a series, because they're doing that as a thing now. And Black Clover's the one they opened on for some reason?
Why?
It's got a lot of advertisement, but it's just failing to live up to any of it.
Yes, it's shit.
Do you know how many chapters... Like, it took, 4 episodes to get to the start of Chapter 2 as well.
Yeah. Not gonna lie,
I would... human race car ass stop.
Not gonna lie, I would be okay with that, because Black Clover's problem is it gives us no grounding or time to rest.
But this is the opposite extreme. And what they do that out with is interesting. Like, there's just a whole episode of Asta and Yuno walking to the capital, and...
Yeah, like, there is a line between going to the African tropics and Antarctica.
I just think that, if done properly, taking a moment to actually show the environment they come from, so that when when everyone's going where at them in the capital because they're peasants, it's just like, no, we actually saw these peasants and they're not like that. They're hardworking people and you guys are dicks.
I think to me, like, everything up until the Leashed fight as a 26 episode season would work well.
And then rewrite the Leashed fight.
There's only so much they can do.
No, make the Leashed fight the finale and don't continue it.
Sure.
Fuck that Leashed fight. That was like the sign of, this series is bullshit.
That was another one of that we could have done something interesting. Like, hey, we're setting up a big bad. Maybe this is something that will be a genuinely imposing threat. And like, oh no, he just got clowned, but we're still gonna not have him totally beat them.
He got clowned 3 times. He got clowned twice.
And then just ran off with his tail between his legs. He's like,
it was like, first Yami clowns him, then in comes Gauch and clowns him, and then finally Asta clowns him once more for good measure.
He powers up to a new form and is clowned again.
I think he powered up after third clowning, and just we never saw the result of that.
If a series wants to have, like, kind of a Team Rocket type useless villain that gradually becomes more competent, that's fine.
Yeah, that's Black Clover. No, that's My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, but they were played out like, yeah, these guys are newbies. And you kind of got, I mean, first you did thought like, wow, they got taken out so easy. But then they started building up the image that, yeah, this guy is a newbie. He's just a kid throwing his weight around.
Whereas with Leashed, I got the sense that he's meant to be like Aizen from Bleach. He's really imposing.
He's meant to be some, like, I believe, some ancient elf that's vengeance has raged through the centuries. And just like, really? Because he got clowned really easily and has chosen... I don't know why the Midnight Sun is a threat to the Clover Kingdom.
It's not.
It's not. They have... What they did was, on a day when they had shit security, some guy made a load of zombies attack. That's all they've done.
Well, do we still want to go on, or should we just cut it here?
Is there anything... Have we done all the series?
Yeah, that was the last one.
I can rant about Black Clover. No, I can't. I lie. I can't rant about Black Clover.
Oh God,
I can, but I don't fucking want to.
The official name of the Leashed arc, where he got introduced, is the Blind Date arc.
Oh God! Like, that one chapter thing overshadows all of Leashed.
The problem is, that chapter was okay. It wasn't good, but it was passable. Oh, no, this is my problem. Any other series, I would have really enjoyed chapters like that Blind Date and the one we had today when it's just side characters sitting around shooting the shit. This is why some filler arcs are some of my favourite stuff, because they do stuff like that.
That's kind of... Okay, that's kind of where me and you differ. Like, I like that stuff when it's done comedically well. Filler arcs usually don't do it in a very novel way.
Yeah, some of them can be boring, but there are moments in filler arcs I cherish. This was really cool. I'm glad this happened. I will put up with 10 more episodes because of this.
Like Zoro having to look after a kid at the end of Water 7.
Oh, that was adorable. Yeah, One Piece does it well. Naruto was terrible at it. And Bleach honestly had better filler arcs than it did actual arcs occasionally.
Well, I think some filler stuff was good in One Piece, and I mean, was it G8 or G5?
G5.
Yeah,
G5 was a great arc.
That's such a good arc. It had a great villain.
I still really love one of the moments Sanji got there.
Oh yeah, when he had to
cool.
cook for those people.
They cooked, but he just did it better with only leftovers. Once again, going to his whole you're gonna use everything thing.
Yeah. Also, Loketown.
I don't know, also the Daddy the Father, that was meant to be a character in the manga, but Oda cut him because he wanted to end the East Blue on chapter 100.
The one page where Usopp gets his goggles was supposed to be the manga, and that was just like they used that little bit for entire episode.
Yeah, that was neat. Not unlike now, where we got a whole arc of and the Kung Fu Dugong.
That was weird.
He said "peto peto" a lot, and
like that felt like I'm watching a One Piece movie split over episodes. And a bad One Piece movie.
Yeah, a bad one, like One Piece movie level bad.
Like early One Piece movie when it was sort of like the one where they fought the guy that was made of candy actually had some good like emotion to it, but there are some weird.
Which
One
one
Piece
was
stories.
the guy made of candy? Was that the fourth one?
I think so. There was a third.
I quite like the fourth one. The fourth One Piece movie, the One Piece experience nicely, because there was there was the whole pirate race where you were introduced to all these big weird rivals. You know,
that was great. I loved that.
There was kind of the proto-law / Ace character.
Yeah, I've only seen one of the movies, that being Film Z.
Probably the best.
That's a good one.
That's arguably the best. That or the one directed by Mamoru Hosoda, which is the really trippy visuals.
The island. The one where Luffy kills a dude by punching him in the face.
Baron Matsuri and the Secret Island. Yeah.
That is my favourite one. The one that makes it look like it's in Digimon.
But yeah, I really liked Film Z because Zephyr is really damn cool.
The ending of that movie does kind of get a tear out of me.
Oh yeah, the fight and the song.
Yeah, my problem with that movie was that the second act was missing. Like yeah.
Like it had a very nothing middle.
There wasn't a middle. They skipped the entire thing and went to the massive battle at the end. It's like, oh, okay.
And then, like, also, Zephyr's plan is a bit stupid in terms of how it fits in with the world. It's like, there are these 3 endpoints, and if you throw these mega crystals into them, they destroy the world. It's like, yeah, right, sure they do. But, like, he was a compelling enough character and a cool enough rival to Luffy that I could overlook that for the most part.
Yes.
Also, weren't we supposed to talk about something way worse?
Yeah, Black Clover.
Oh god, I thought you would just forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought we tangented off from it.
Our discussion of Black Clover is now over. Fuck Black Clover. And fuck Judo.
Yes. At one point, we're going to have to. We should have that drunk cast of One Piece Gold sometime.
Oh no, not Gold. We're doing the Fairy Tail movie because it is trying so hard to be one of the recent One Piece movies.
Okay, and then another time we're going to go over One Piece Gold, and I'm going to have to get.
Gold wasn't that bad.
Gold was very disappointing.
I thought it was a fun time.
Do you know what annoys me more? It had one of the best villain backstories in the entire thing.
Really? I thought that was totally shoehorned in. It was my least favourite part of the film.
I might have been looking for things to enjoy. That came. Why the fuck did you make a better film around this?
I liked it. I really liked the heist thing where they're breaking into the place.
Fuck that.
Funny. No,
that was
really
cool
funny.
Until it was just like, this is pointless.
Guys,
they ruined Nami's backstory.
Guys,
no, they didn't.
If you don't mind, we could start wrapping things up before we go on all the tangents.
All right.
We'll save this fight for another time.
Yeah. So, this has been Stammer Stream, and I thank you all for listening. I have been Greil9, and you can follow me on Twitter at NuclearAndroid.
I have been Dr. Hovin. You can follow me on Twitter for Anime Waifus, Cabal Hijinks, and Trial by Guilty Crown at Hovin with an H.
I am still KastorUK. That is all.
Right. So, with these words, fuck Black Clover, we end the podcast. Bye!